Just you and I now, Lara. You have no weapons, no allies, no hope. This place will become your tomb. I've got you. Come fight me. Don't hide it. Stay still. Somewhere while you hide from me. You're mine. No! My destiny lies in the Chamber of Souls. I've come too close to be stopped now.
What? What hit? Wait. What? What hit me? That was some other bullshit right there. What shot me or what exploded that killed me? No, no, you son of a bitch! You fucked it up! What our bullshit was that? You all saw... I jumped up? And he shall go this way! That's our bullshit. Just bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I was in the middle of watching a fucking movie, and Jacob had to get scarred up because he didn't know how to walk and almost fell off a cliff.
Can you hit him with the trebuchet?
We'll try! Get ready!
I don't think you'll be able to hit him!
We'll keep trying. We're reloading the trebuchet. Hold on! The helicopter is too fast. We'll never be able to hit him.
Wait! I have an idea. If I shoot the fireball when it's near the chopper, the blast might hit it.
I hope you're right. Give us the signal. We'll be ready.
Fire!
We're launching!
Come down and face me, you coward!
Ugh, damn it! Send in a squad, now! I want her dead! He's dead! Give me cover and fire! I got you covered! She's hit! Moving into position! Under fire!
Laura, we're under attack! We're trying to get rid of this son of a bitch!
You've got to get out of there!
No, we're in a fight!
Thank you, Sophia.
Grenade out!
Ay, ay. Where'd you get dinner from? Have you seen my headphones, Gavin?
Up there.
Jason, dinner is here. It is ready. You need to take a shower and come eat.
I know. Give me a second.
And those wet clothes will leave Harold in the washing machine.
the movies.
Why? There you go. Oh my gosh, you're gonna come in here and not eat even though we're over this. Did you take a shower? Someone's phone storage.
Spies in disguise.
goodness it was just a dream. Thank goodness. Wait, that photograph is old of his, and he still hasn't aged. Joey? He did. Oh. There was an old version of this where it had a tall guy and a short guy. Oh. That was a short hair guy. Pretty like had to. Joey? You know, we could go at the Redbox and get the underwater version. Yeah, still has it. No, no. I want with Jacob. Pure Jacob. Pure Jacob.
on his way to you.
I'm not done yet.
We're reloading the trebuchet. Hold on. Okay, we're ready. On your signal.
I'm ready. Stop!
Wait. Fake. That did not happen. Let's do it.
All squads, I have a visual on Croft. She must not be allowed into the Chamber of Souls.
Constant.
They call me the fastest gun.
I don't think you'll be able to hit him.
We'll keep trying. We're reloading the trebuchet. Hold on. The helicopter is too fast. We'll never be able to hit him.
Wait! I have an idea. If I shoot the fiber when it's near the chopper, the blast might...
I hope you're right. Give us the signal. We'll be ready.
No!
All right, here goes.
Come down the face to you, coward!
I can't believe you
Send in a
just
squad
stole from me.
now. I want her dead. Let's go. Give me covering fire. Flush her out. Keep her down. Moving into position. You and me.
Watch out, Laura. He's on his way to you.
I'm not done yet.
Keep recovering fire! Cover fire!
Let's just stop blowing up these stupid barrels.
Keep her down!
Laying down, covering fire! Let's go! She's in! She's in! Almost down!
Laura, he's headed back your way.
I haven't even defeated all these people yet.
Let's finish this!
We're loading up the trebuchet. Hold on. It's ready. On your signal. I'm ready. Go! Launch it!
For one, that plane crash is way a different direction, but okay.
Take it easy!
Shit. And he,
Just you
somehow
and
he
I
took my
now,
assault rifle,
Laura.
but okay.
You have no weapons, no allies, no hope. This place will become your tomb. Come fight me. You're mine. my door. You can't. I wonder, did you watch your friend Jonah die? A gut.
That won't work.
Is he still bleeding out somewhere while you hide from me? I've got you. No!
Got my
My
hot
destiny lies in the chamber of souls. You know, you're stronger than your father ever was. He never would have made it this far. Yes, I knew him. When my sister infiltrated your family, I was there, watching from the shadows. He was a brilliant man, but he was weak. A coward. You. I see him. Trinity could...
You don't know nothing about my father.
It's not my destiny. I was meant for greatness.
This was never your destiny. Your sister let you believe that.
I did all of this for her. Don't you walk away from me. Wait! Trinity killed your father.
No, you're lying.
He begged for his life. And when that failed, he begged for yours.
You're wrong! Shut up! Just shut up!
He was a pathetic man. I pitied him. I like to think his last thoughts were of you, Lara. Of how he drove you away. How he had faith.
You're not worth it. Burn in hell.
Anna! Stop! Your men are defeated. Your brother is dead. No! That's what Trinity has wrought. Death. And that's all they'll ever bring. Give this up.
I gave up everything for this. I have no intention of giving it to Trinity.
What about your father? You're dooming him to be mocked by history. How can you let this go? When you're so close?
I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I can't let you take it.
Think of the millions, suffering and dying. We can save them. We can change the world. Together.
The cost is too high, Anna. We aren't meant to live forever. Death is a part of life.
That's easy for you to say. You're not the one who's dying.
But this isn't about you. This is about humanity, about protecting what it means to be human.
They're coming! We're surrounded!
Jacob, look out!
source is not meant for the world.
This is your chance, Lara. Everything I've done, everything you've done. Another Croft doesn't have to die for this.
But I'm willing to.
Well, I'm not. Please. I'm dying. This is my only hope.
Anna, no!
Wait. No.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Jacob, hold on.
I've held on for too long already.
You knew I'd destroy it.
In all my years, I've met few as extraordinary as you. It's finally happening. My ending.
I'm sorry. All I wanted was to make a difference.
You already have. You already have.
Oh, he's fading away. But she's still.
My dearest Lara, I often think about how my father would turn over in his grave if he knew the shame I had brought upon our family's name. Croft, what does it even mean? I just hope you can make your own mark on this world someday. Remember that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are.
Destroying the source was the right thing to do.
I still feel like I let him down.
I think you would have made the same choice. Come on. You've got a plane to catch.
I listened to his last tape 1,000 times, but it's as if I was hearing my father's words only now, for the first time. It doesn't matter what choices he would have made. I have to make my own. The myth of Katesh was real. There are secrets out there that can change the world. I need to find them, not for my father, not for anyone else. Trinity is still out there, and they're more powerful than I ever imagined. I can stop them. I can make a difference.
Yes.
I can make the right difference.
As I walk through frozen sands, through the flames of burning lands, my feet are torn, they're torn.
That place was awesome.
I will not thirst. As I cross the raging sea, waves are crashing over me. They drag me down.
Wait, 2 weeks earlier.
Anna. You said another Croft doesn't have to die for this. What did you mean by that? You killed my father, didn't you? Trinity ordered his execution. I couldn't do it. You're lying! I loved him. No!
It's done.
Good.
What about Croft?
No. Not yet.
No, not yet. No, we have plans for her. Damn it. God damn it. Damn it. 84% complete. Need to go to the restaurant. I'll be right back.
What's wrong?
Final notice to Lara Croft, a current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared. And given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor, somewhere. Dad's safe. Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria.
Wow, this is cool.
He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb. Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research.
So, did I do the wrong thing? I should have done New Bloodline and the other one.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. Icy but polite grace from mother, indifference and disinterest from father, and thinly veiled contempt from Atlas. Of course they don't approve. To them, Lord Croft is the man who took away their beloved daughter and ruined her long-standing engagement, though I was never going to marry that repugnant Earl of Farringdon anyway. One might think they would be happy that I was being courted by a genuine lord of the realm. It just happens to be Richard Croft. In their eyes, the man who single-handedly ruined a once great family. But there's nothing to be done now. Watching how Richard dealt with their subtle insults and disrespect. Such grace and calm. I know he did it for me. I think I'm falling in love with this man. It will break my mother's heart, but I cannot live the life she imagined for me. My time with Richard has only made this clearer.
Really?
It must have been hard for Mum to go against her family's wishes. I'm glad she did. A picture with Dad and Anna. This is probably my grandfather, Benjamin. One of Dad's Yoruba masks. A gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria.
I'm wondering if her dad was, one of the characters in Uncharted. Uncharted, if that was a movie, all games, it was like Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4, yeah, 5 because of the sister one. That would have made so much money.
Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
This is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight, quite unexpectedly. But it shouldn't have been, it seems. I've been so buried in my work, so distracted by my latest revelations, I never bothered to notice my surroundings. But there she was, sitting at my table in the library. Her name is Amelia. And apparently she's been studying right next to me. Art history, of all things. I shared some of my research against my better judgment, but I wanted to see how she would respond. And she did not disappoint. I felt as if I was suddenly engaged in a mental game of chess, moving and counter-moving in argument. At one point, that poor old librarian had to shush us as if we were children. I feel so foolish for not having noticed her earlier. She's a brilliant woman who's challenged my ideas for the first time in memory. In truth, I don't know if she's feeling as exhilarated as I am right now, but I dare say our conversation was mutually stimulating. For the first time in a long time, I find myself thinking about something else besides my research. I hope she returns for another round tomorrow.
Real. You hope
My
that
parents made a good team, challenging each other from the start. My birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing. That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good. Dad's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always loved looking at these. Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum lately. I wish I knew more about her. How did you meet? What was she like? Winston told me that she was a brilliant artist. Are some of her paintings locked up in the West Wing? And I guess I just want to know, did she love me, Dad? Did she ever say that she did? Maybe I'm just being silly, but will you tell me more about her the next time I'm home from school?
I can't believe that.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, I won't be borrowing your sword this time.
Yeah, I like those kinds of armor.
The Grand Hall. Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix. A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Yeah. So why is he obsessed with immortality?
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see...
We've been through this.
Was Mum's room in here?
Just stay out of there, darling.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing. Locked. Need a key to open this.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Looking at the compass. thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
I can tell by his voice.
The offer came in the post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I will meet him shortly. I never told him I was submitting my work. Never thought there was a chance of being accepted. Oh, but a gallery tour is not something I can pass up. The show will take me away from England for over a year. I'll begin in New York and travel across the United States and... oh, God! I'm giddy even writing these words. When Richard and I were married, I was prepared to relegate my painting to a hobby. But it was Richard who objected, who gave me my atelier and studio. Without that support, I might still be painting boring landscapes. Now I can't shake the foolish sensation that leaving would be a betrayal. He will laugh at that and insist I accept, even though I know it will break his heart to be apart. He never once asked me to sacrifice any part of my life for his. I have, of course, in 1,000 small ways over the years, but he would never ask. The discussion can wait, and I will join him in Tibet. I won't cast a shadow over his find. I will be by his side in his triumph, as I know he will stand by my side, in time.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. Shadows. Okay. Yeah, you died, woman. That's why you disappeared.
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior. I can only assume you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you, loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it's time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estate, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely, your uncle.
Sincerely, your uncle. That's all he has to say.
Hey, Jonah. Sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the manor. A lot has happened, and I need some time to think about what I want to do next. This old place is filled with memories and secrets. Uncle Atlas has tried to keep me out of here for so long, I don't even know if I want to keep it. But after everything that's happened, maybe I can find out what it still means to me. If it's worth fighting him for. I'll let you know how things worked out when I'm back in London.
Okay, back in London, but why? But what if you're back?
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip.
A light.
Should be able to explore the dark now.
You were scared of the dark. And you keep it on like that. Oh my god.
Not sure. I really need to brush up on my ancestors one of these days.
This place needs some cleaning up.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Wow.
Amelia, the news has reached Mother. She knows that you broke off your engagement with the Earl of Farringdon. She is beside herself with worry. But, for the moment, she's controlling the narrative. As far as anyone knows, you're just having innocent second thoughts. But the moment your affair with Lord Croft goes public, it will be too late. Our name will be as ruined as this man you've chosen to bed. Don't you see that you're being selfish, Amelia? Please, consider your family. You're a de Mornay. Everything you do has a greater effect on us all. I'm coming down to London soon. Don't do anything rash until we have a chance to talk.
You people are weird. I mean, think about it, because why would you ever want to, you know, first he dies, and then even though I was legally born from him and all that, it should go straight to me. It doesn't belong to anyone else. It's just mine.
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I have passed that test with flying colors. Indeed, these last few months in Egypt have been nothing short of extraordinary. She and Roth get on like old uni chums. In fact, the two have spent more than a few nights drinking and playing cards into the wee hours. Despite her decidedly proper upbringing, Amelia's taken to roughing it more than I ever have. She fits in and connects with the local populace with such amazing empathy. Because of her, I've had a bit of an unexpected breakthrough in my research. She managed to convince an artifact dealer in Old Town to sell me a magnificent and quite unusual Tibetan scroll. From what I can tell, it seems to contain details surrounding an immortality ritual of some sort. I think it's time for me to take the next step with Amelia. In fact, I don't think I can wait any longer. I will ask for her hand tomorrow in the bright Egyptian sun amidst the dust and ruins.
I mean, it doesn't even make any... Okay.
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
Well, the thing is, why weren't they even intrigued? My question is, why the hell were Trinity was even intrigued by him? He didn't find anything good.
Amelia, I know we have had our differences in recent years. I've tried my best to keep an open mind about your relationship with Richard, but I just can't let you go on this ill-conceived expedition without saying my piece. You say Richard's theories have merit. You say that he may have actually stumbled upon some mythic, unknown truth, but I have seen nothing to support such claims. And while your word may have been enough in times past, I cannot let you squander away what remains of your name and reputation, and that of our family, truth be told, on some damned foolish crusade. I intend to go to Richard's investors and let them know exactly how he's spending their money, but I want to give you a chance to put a stop to this yourself. Please, don't go to Tibet. If not for me, at least for Lara.
Well, that's weird. Didn't that... Get out of me.
Still just as creepy as I remember.
Dang, look at all this wine.
My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health. Before I bore you with estate affairs, I wanted to let you know that our little angel has been into some mischief. As always, I indulged her in our usual game of chess. Over the course of the game, she broached the subject of her mother. She's having trouble remembering her now, and wanted to enter her ladyship's atelier, which you sealed off, to play on her mother's piano. It enraged her when she wasn't allowed to go in, of course. For someone so young, she has such strong emotions. Later in the day, she set a trap for me in the walk-in freezer, of all places. And before I knew what was happening, I found myself locked inside. Mrs. Sheffield discovered me an hour later, shivering and somewhat peeved. It took us an additional hour to find Lara in the grounds. I know all her hiding places, of course, but this time she really did not want to be found. Call it years of observation, but I can tell when she's out of sorts. My lord, if I may be so bold, she misses you fiercely. She is lonely for her father. Please consider a call as soon as you are able.
Yeah.
Poor Winston. I remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
I'm at a crossroads now. Good Lord, that's such a cliche. But there's truth in it. 2 roads before me. Both present joy and compromise. A life with Richard, adventure, intellectual pursuit, perhaps a new family. But also a man obsessed with something I cannot understand. Or a life of obligation, upholding the de Mornay name, embracing our traditions, not losing the family that raised me. Oh, this really is a rubbish choice. I don't want to lose them, but I love the life I've started to build with Richard. He comes with his own difficulties, but I can accept them. Will it be enough?
Okay, but...
Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organizing the affair and keeping it secret. She's obsessed with Egypt, memorizing hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts, so she'll be delighted with what Lord Croft has come up with. This will be good for her. She's been acting up of late, but I know she's just craving more of her father's attention. He's been so buried in his research. It'll be a nice moment for the two of them to reconnect. And I do believe he needs it as much as she does.
Wow. He really wasn't at home. I don't really care about him anymore. I'm going to defend him all the way, but now I hear that he's just
King to Queen 1. I'm going to win this time, Winston.
Clever girl. But you should know by now, winning isn't everything. Queen to King's Bishop 6. Check.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes Queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, Lara. Don't rush to victory. Bishop to King 7.
I know, Winston. I just want... Oh no! I didn't even see that!
You should also know by now, I'm not to be trifled with on this board, young lady. Mate.
Oh, I am going to win. Someday.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him. I always chose white. Maybe if I let him go first once in a while, I might have won.
I've done this before.
Dad loved a good bottle of wine. I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
Dad, this is it! The basement of despair!
Indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Look there! See the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The Keepers of Knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my hair ribbons to make this. He and Dad put a lot of work into this birthday surprise. Water damage from the main hall above. My stuffed bear. I couldn't have a tomb without a mummy.
This place needs a lot of my interest just to fix it up.
Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
2.
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met. I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I am such a fool. I have let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long, and it may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, all so long. Then so be it. I am going after her, right now, tonight.
Damn right you should.
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
I've created a clever little map for Lara's birthday expedition. I used the invisible ink Amelia picked up for me in Morocco so many years ago. At the time, I remember being so annoyed by that rather aggressive street vendor, but she just smiled in her sunny way and paid him without a second thought. I assumed it was just a tourist scam, but it actually works. Turns out it requires a very specific kind of vellum and a heat source to illuminate the ink after it's dried. It should prove a nice challenge for Lara to puzzle out.
Yeah, it is not a scam. It's actually pretty real.
I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox research was just something I had to live with. But this time, the thrill of discovery has taken hold of me. I never imagined I could be drawn in this way. Richard cabled to tell me he's found the monastery. The symbol we deciphered in the scroll was the key to its location. I don't know if I honestly believe that this will lead to the fabled elixir of life, but I can't help but feel that a great secret awaits us there. My brother was threatening to shut down the expedition, but I managed to talk him down for the time being. Now I am going to meet Richard. I would bring Lara if I could, but she's still too young. She'll be in good hands with Winston, and when we return, her parents might just be a bit more famous.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. There's something else here.
I've reached the monastery. As Roth predicted, it was hidden deep in the Himalayas. And now that I'm standing on these high stone walls, I am overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the mountains that surround me. It is simply breathtaking. But what adds to their spiritual majesty is the truth of this place. The monks welcomed me, as is their way, but they seemed to expect me. They must have known someone like me would eventually come seeking answers. I know this is the place. They've conducted the ritual before. I have seen the evidence, the distinctive symbols carved into the floors, the art displayed on the inner chamber's walls. They've created the elixir before, and they will again if I can convince them. I sent Emilia a message straight away. I want her by my side for this discovery.
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life?
Yeah, he was. Immortality, immortality this, immortality that. Who cares? If you were with Uncharted guy, you would have found some of it already. You gotta get a drink. Alright, I'm back.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Now, let me see. These two myths are referencing the same source material. But where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling girl.
Takes me back. Those were good times. The best times.
Yeah.
This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs. One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find. Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it, though. Croft family crest and initials PC. I wonder if this belonged to my grandfather. Okay, should be able to light the fireplace now. This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing pictures of tigers. Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventures.
I'm not feeling so great. You should be glad I'm even doing this for you guys.
This music is familiar. It's beautiful. It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly? Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time. Blank, except for the image of a key. I remember this map now. It leads to the master key. We made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a fire. This picture was taken in the library. (1820) additions to the main hall in progress. This should help me read the map. I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase. X marks the spot, as they say. This should get me to the West Wing. Alright, this should open most rooms in the manor, including the Forbidden West Wing.
the Pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8? I think this hieroglyph corresponds to a number, but which one? Okay, Dad's clues mention Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing. The Croft family crest.
The forbidden.
Worse than I thought. This is strangely beautiful. Okay, Lara, keep it together. You're starting to see things. Mum's atelier. Dad sealed it soon after she died. He probably couldn't bear the idea of removing any of her belongings.
My lord, we all hope your work was well received at the conference and look forward to your return. As is so often the case with these missives, I wanted to call your attention to an incident involving our little angel. It seems that Lara has been the subject of some ridicule amongst the other girls at school. From what I can gather, some of the other young ladies were teasing her for being too much of a tomboy. You know how Lara can get when pushed into a corner. Let's just say they won't be bothering her again. But I do think their words have had an effect. I believe Lara has been missing her mother lately. She's begun to worry that she isn't like the other girls. And having grown up with only a father, it shouldn't come as a surprise that she has trouble relating to them. I wonder if this new friend of yours, Anna, is it? Perhaps she might prove a welcome influence. It might be worth bringing her to the manor to meet Lara. In any case, I'll let you decide the proper time to do that. Please travel home safely. Yours, Winston.
So, here's the original like that.
With Amelia gone, the manor is a different place. A dimness pervades, a quiet I can't stand. Even though Lara is too young to understand what has happened, she also senses the change. She's asked after her mother only once, and I'm afraid my reaction must have terrified her. I will need Winston more than ever these next few months to help look after her. I never quite realized how much grief can consume a man, but I am utterly consumed. I know I can't escape the pain, but I will try my damnedest to avoid it. I will seal the West Wing for as long as I live in this place. It will remain exactly as Amelia left it. Perhaps someday Lara can find her own answers there.
Someday. Not today, but someday she'll find her answer. But in the meantime... I need a drink again. See the teleportation. Hello? Yeah? Nothing?
Why not?
Because you left.
Why did we leave?
We were return a movie.
Oh. Okay, really one there,
I believe it took this trip to push me over the edge. I've been able to see Richard in his element, seeing him at his best and his worst. I've experienced the purity and chaos of his passion, and I came to realize I want his passion in my life every day.
Not strawberry shake again, but
Richard
I will
wanted
take
to wait another 4 days until my birthday, but I wouldn't
a
have
Butterfinger.
it. Once I make a decision, I prefer to get on with it.
What was it?
So we found a
Butterfinger
small
Black,
chapel
or
in
was
Luxor that was
it?
just
Or is it
right.
something?
And with Roth and the others at our side, we married as the sun set over
Bye.
this remarkable land. Mother will never forgive me. Atlas will forever resent me. But I don't care anymore. I'm free of De Mornay obligations. Free to pursue my own passions and live my life surrounded by those who will encourage and challenge me. I'm excited for the future, whatever it may bring. Tomorrow, Richard and I return home to London as the Crofts, forging our path together.
Wow.
My mother's perfume. The smell. So familiar. I can almost remember her. Mum, on her wedding day, she looks so beautiful. There's a date. October something. Damn, the number is faded. Their anniversary was in October. Which day? I can't believe I don't know this. There's got to be another clue somewhere. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. October 13th, Mum's birthday. Pretty sure my parents were married in October. I think it was close to her birthday.
I am bursting with pride. Amelia is with child. It is amazing how everything in life can change with such a simple event. Obviously, we don't know the gender, but already we've discussed possible names. Perhaps Benjamin, after my grandfather, or maybe Griffin. He was more infamous a Croft than even me. No, Amelia wouldn't have it. Besides, she's certain it's a girl. She favors a classic such as Scarlet or Kate, though I've made some headway with Lara. A subtle nod to the sun god Ra, and our days in Egypt, where certainly this child was conceived. I find myself thinking about this new life we've created, of how much she might be like us. For all my research into myths of immortality, I may have ignored the most obvious answer to the questions that plague me. We live on through our progeny, our genes, DNA, experiences passed through the generations. Perhaps this is the simple truth of eternal life, and I've just been too stubborn to accept it.
Yeah, we would definitely. Or Croft
Dad
would.
may have discovered the secret to immortality without even knowing it. Mum's wedding ring. I always wondered what happened to it. The inscription is faded.
After everything Atlas has done, how could you tell him about the expedition?
It's just all been too much. I needed to talk to someone. He's still my brother.
I don't trust him.
You don't have to, Richard, but please, trust me.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I know him. He'll take it to the papers. The investors will pull out.
Then go. Without me. Tonight. I will take care of Atlas. And then meet you in Tibet next week.
I was so young, but I still remember that terrible argument. It wasn't always an easy road for my parents. I think this was Dad's pocket watch. Looks like it stopped precisely at midnight. This is Dad. I suppose it's a family tradition, but I can't imagine having one of these made of me.
Amelia would not have approved. That alone should have been the end of it. But I am, as God made me, a stubborn fool. I locked all the West Wing's doors, and I shall not open them again until either my life or my obstinacy comes to an end. The night before, Roth told me I would someday change my mind. Like a broken arm cast in plaster, he said. The wound would heal, and we would someday shed the bandages to be whole again. The metaphor made me furious. The clumsy way he cast our loss off as nothing more than an inconvenience. There is wisdom in his rough words, but I've done what I must. Perhaps one day, Lara will throw back the doors to let the sun shine in again. Maybe she will find her own sense of peace in this place.
Alright, guys, I'm back.
At least that old thing still works.
What did I miss? Kind of sad this here. A good game like this, have only one, storyline now, which is kind of sad. Kind of, but not really.
Need to search the rest of the manor for the clues to the combination.
Mistress Lara,
Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting tired of these notes. Alright, that'll about do it for me. See you guys in the next one.